There's the man. Good work, Henry.
Thank you, sir.
I tell you to take a well-earned rest, but unfortunately I need one more thing from you.
Whatever you command.
Jezek refuses to talk to us. The stubborn bastard's asking to see you.
Me?
Indeed. Normally I'd send for Captain Burner to beat it out of him, but then I told myself that if he's so keen to speak to you...
I'll try to get something out of him. Where is he?
He's locked up in the tower. Bernard will give you the key.
Very well, sir.
Flour, egg, salt, yeast. Let it bake a bit. You'll be able to see the whole family with fresh bread.
Mushrooms and asparagus. Come right up. No need to be shy.
Bread, fresh bread. Bread.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I need the key to Yezhek's cell.
So Sir Radzig let him have his way in the end. He should have let me beat some answers out of him.
If I were you, I wouldn't question Sir Radzig's orders. Give me the key.
Just try not to mess it up. Here's that key.
Thanks.
God be with you.
I'd like to improve my swordsmanship.
Me teach you? Like you already know everything.
Can you teach me how to defend myself better in combat?
Me teach you? Like you already know everything.
I'd like to learn to fight better with an axe.
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost. Now,
Take care. God be with you.
I'd like to learn to fight.
certainly.
I'm interested in.
All right. Now,
God be with you.
I'd like to learn.
certainly.
I'd like to.
All right. Now,
God be with you.
I'd like to learn.
me teach you.
God be with you.
What the?
What, again? How many times is that this month?
I'll stop by for that cloth.
Very well. Aye, but I'll sleep like the dead.
How are you, Henry? Well, finally, I've had quite a wait.
Why do you want to talk to me, of all people?
You brought me here. You should consider it an honor.
If hanging around in a damp dungeon with a condemned man is your idea of honor.
You're not seeing the bright side. You can be the one who uncovers a conspiracy against the king for your master. You don't get an opportunity like that every day. It did cross my mind, though, that it might be nice to get some assurances for my cooperation. After all, I'm the one the Margrave unjustly declared the scourge of the land and expelled from Moravia. They even pulled my beautiful castle down. It was the necessity of making a living that forced me to take some liberties.
Do you really want to question the authority of the Margrave?
I've always been loyal to the crown, but what can I do when the Margrave stole my fief?
That's not why we're here. I don't care about your conflict with the Margrave. It's your crimes against the king I'm worried about. The king you say you've always been so loyal to.
Very well, ask me anything you want. I won't be obstructive.
What I want to know most of all is who's behind it. Who are you making those forgeries for?
Do you think I couldn't have handled it all myself?
I'm not trying to insult you. It's just not a job one man could do alone.
All right, the way it began was I was short of coin, as usual. So I let those crimps in Sasau recruit me.
Recruit you into what?
I didn't inquire too much. In this business, you don't ask too many questions. But when they found out I wasn't just anybody, they put me in charge of the counterfeiting. A foreigner by the name of Eric gave me instructions. But for sure, he isn't the chief. And there's someone highly placed at the monastery who's mixed up in it too. But I don't know who.
How did you come to hear of all this business?
I met some old friends in Colleen a few months ago, and they said they were heading for Sasau, that armed men were being recruited, and they'll hire anyone.
Old friends? Who were they?
Just a couple of brigands. We used to ambush the Margrave's messengers in Moravia together.
Nice friends you keep.
I was in dispute with the Margrave. A man in my position finds himself mixed up with all sorts.
And then what?
Rapota and I had been living off stale crusts for a month, so I wasn't going to turn down the chance of work, honest or otherwise. We rode to Sasau and met with the recruiters. It didn't take long to realize I was a nobleman fallen on hard times, not some common peasant.
Can you get to the point?
Well, they introduced me to this Eric, and he told me what was needed. They set up the workshop, got the men, the supplies, everything.
Crimps? You're telling me this Eric is recruiting armed men in Sasau?
Well, it seems so. I was giving the recruiters some of the coins to do it. The fake ones, of course.
Where can I find the recruiting gang?
That's tricky. It was my friends who led me to them. We met with them in the woods next to Sasau. It's about who you know, as always.
You said you gave them money. Where was that?
They'd ride to the mine gallery to see me. I don't suppose you'd find them there now.
If you say so.
This Eric, you reckon he's not the one in charge?
He puts on airs, but he's just a naive young pup. And he's always going on about his lord, though he never mentioned him by name.
Where can I find this Eric? You must have had some meeting place.
He used to come to the workshop unannounced. And after what's happened, I doubt he'll be showing his face there again.
This highly placed person at the monastery, what can you tell me about him?
I've no idea who he is, only that he's no small fry. After all, he handles the exchange of the forgeries in Passau.
I see. Is there anything else at all you can tell me about him?
No, he was supposed to supply me with materials too, but he backed out. Eric said he probably got cold feet.
That'll do me for the moment.
Will you put in a word for me with Sir Radzig? I'll swear allegiance to him if he'll have me. I'm sick of being a renegade.
Why would Sir Radzig want your allegiance? You're a criminal, and that's how you'll be treated.
Down. 8.
Pragnę, by zalecić też na...
So what have you learned?
All sorts of things.
There's some foreigner called Eric behind the counterfeiting ring, and someone highly placed at the monastery.
The monastery? Really?
That's what Jezek claimed.
So it's worse than I thought. If this is true, we'll have to proceed with the utmost caution.
Why? Can't we just go to the monastery to investigate?
No. If the church is truly involved, I have no authority.
So what will you do?
I'll have to think about it. It won't be an easy nut to crack. I'll have to consult with Hanush. And what of this Eric? Who is he?
I don't know, but he's recruiting armed men in Sasau and forming an army.
Damn! So it looks like Pribyslavitz wasn't the end of it.
It most certainly wasn't, sir. And what's more, Sir Jezek is convinced this Eric is only a go-between, and there's someone bigger behind him.
You should return to Sasau and take a closer look at those recruiters. If they're going to attack, we must find out sooner than last time.
It might not be as straightforward as that. So Jezek didn't know them and has no idea how to find them.
You'll have to manage somehow, my lad. Don't tell me there's an armed force amassing here and nobody knows anything. Go to Sasau and try to find them.
I'm not sure where to start, sir.
Then ask around the alehouses and inns, or at the Rathaus. Someone must have heard something. These things can't be entirely kept in the dark. Whatever you do, be careful, Henry. And best not mention my name. It would attract unwelcome attention. What we want is for the crimps to take you for just another village lad they can lure into their gang.
All right, sir. I'll try to blend in as best I can.
I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I know of no one else who could help as much as you can now.
As you command, sir.
Wasze serce skłoni, a
Jesus Christ be praised.
I've got a few questions for you, Bailiff, if you don't mind. Have you been having some trouble around here?
And what business is it of yours? Did someone complain? Who sent you here?
No one complained, though I'd be interested to know why you think they might. It was Lord Radzig who sent me. He'd heard word that some unsavoury characters are holed up round here.
Begging your pardon, but what the devil does Sir Radzig care about it? And I keep hearing the same from Sir Sebastian. And he's got no dog in this fight either.
Sir Sebastian? Who's that?
Sebastian Baron von Berg. He's here under monastery law. to protect us against all this unrest in the land.
Why should he care about the city? That's not his jurisdiction, is it?
Quite true. I'm in charge of this city, but he keeps telling me I've got cutthroats hiding around here, and I should be more vigilant. The goal of the man.
Have you heard any talk of strangers in the town? Maybe people acting oddly?
Nothing worth mentioning. Sure, there's been some talk about the miller. Folks saying they've been seeing him doing this or that, or people visiting him at night. But he's never done anything. He's a decent enough man. For a miller.
I'll try asking him if he's heard anything.
He lives on the other side of the river, by the bogs. But don't go getting your hopes up. He might not be able to help.
I heard some recruiters are meeting in Sasau. Seemed likely they'd get up to mischief and people might complain.
Do you think that people here complain and I don't do my job? Nothing of the sort. Old Lederman's the only one that comes complaining, but I pay no heed to him.
And what does this Lederman complain about?
Lederman is our local tanner. Lives by the quarry, which is where, well, some youngsters go there to wrestle.
They go there to fight and that doesn't bother you?
Why would it bother me? Much better to brawl there than in the tavern. At least in the quarry they can't damage anything but each other. And my catchpoles go by there from time to time to keep an eye on things.
You have an inn and the horse trails cross here. There must be many travellers come seeking work and not all of them honest men.
Aye, it's true. Bedlam has broken out once or twice, and restoring order was no easy matter.
Has there been anything like that lately?
No. It's been quiet here lately. Now that I think about it, I don't recall coming across anyone here like that.
Nobody looking for soldiering work, maybe as a merchant's guard?
There's always one or two like that. But if they don't get the job, they move on.
Thank you, Bailiff.
Farewell.
Good day to you. What do you need?
Tanner, I've heard all's not well with you.
It's better now. I must have eaten something bad.
No, I mean you've complained about some ruffians raising hell behind your house.
Aye, true enough. That lot's been a thorn in my side. And when I went to tell them to take it elsewhere, they nearly beat me to a pulp.
When are they there?
Nearly every evening. Every god-forsaken evening. Shouting and bellowing there till nightfall. And then they leave. Probably to get drunk.
How many of them are there?
How would I know? They make as much noise as a herd of wild boar in rutting season.
And did they all attack you?
Aye. They knocked the stuffing right out of me.
And nobody does a thing about it?
I've been to the bailiff, but he couldn't give a rat's arse. There's no commotion under his window, so what does he care?
That's quite a bailiff you've got.
A scarecrow would keep better order.
If you want, I'll take care of them.
Well, you look like you could move mountains, but there are several of them and just one of you.
Perhaps we'll be able to settle things peacefully.
Maybe. They might think twice before kicking your arse.
Perhaps I can reason with them. It doesn't have to come to blows.
Well, break a leg, lad. Or better yet, don't. But if you manage to pull it off, you'll get your reward. Don't worry.
Take care now.
What are you doing here?
Nothing special. Just a little evening wrestling. It's good for your back and digestion. And your purse too, if you know your business.
I want to get better at...
Me? Teach you?
I'm looking for work, and I've heard someone around here wants fearless men. Do you know anything about it?
I've heard they might be looking for a new knacker. So if you're not afraid of carcasses and the occasional pile of shite...
Thanks, but no thanks. Word has it someone's hiring mercenaries and other fighters.
Well, you've heard more than I.
The tanner sent me. He says you've been causing a commotion at night, and I thought I might convince you to stop.
Ha! So all his whining finally found a friendly ear, did it? Let me tell you something first, Will. I'm the bailiff's man, and we're not doing anything wrong here. Old Lederman's only been whining like that since he lost a bit of silver. Didn't bother him before that.
He told me different.
Ha! Of course he did. Otherwise no one would help him. Go ahead and ask the lads. They'll tell you the same. It's God's honest truth.
I'll take you at your word. But what should I do now?
The way I see it, you've got two choices. Screw that old liar and leave him be, or get down to business.
What do you mean, get down to business?
Well, you may think you're pretty tough, and if you give us all a thrashing, we might think it over. But then again, we're no strangers to a hard fight.
If I break your arm, then you won't be coming here for a while, will you?
But I'm a fair fellow, so I'll make you an offer. If you enter our tournament and win, which means beating us all, then we'll go elsewhere. If you don't win, then you're flat out of luck and have to leave. That's not so bad, is it?
If I wanted to join in, what would I have to do?
It's pretty simple. First you have to beat Weed. He's that not too dangerous looking fella there. But some nights, he gets a good rest and he's got God on his side. Then you can try one of those three. Doesn't matter which. And if you whip all three, you can test your mettle against me. Fair enough?
So the last match is with you?
That's right. They say a bout with me is no joke. Just bad humours.
I want to fight you.
What did I tell you? First beat Weed and those three clowns. And then I'll have time for you. Got it? Take care now.
I beat him senseless that time, remember?
Yeah, we remember.
God be with you.
Was that the time you dropped on him and then sat on him?
I heard that someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about that?
No, but I'm always the last to hear of anything like that. I'll ask Punch. He'd know.
Let's do it.
All I'm saying is
Let's go.
you fell on him.
Farewell.
and then
Told you what really happened. So we all...
Piece of shit. You wanna have a go? Boys, don't fight.
God be with you, good sir.
I heard someone was looking for men willing to do anything. Do you know anything about it?
Maybe. I work in the quarry, and they're always looking for extra hands to replace them that's got something broken.
That's not what I meant, but thanks. Let's fight.
You look pretty good. But I'm betting it was just luck.
We'll see.
Farewell.
Good day to you.
Let's fight.
That wasn't bad. But now, may the Lord watch.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
Let's fight.
That wasn't bad. But let's see how you do with me. Take care now. Way off!
I want to fight you.
You put on quite a show. Can't say I expected it. Take care now.
God be with you.
Help! Over there! For God's sake! There! Over there! Help! Over there!
What was that noise?
What are you doing here? You are.
That was pretty good. I didn't think you had it in you.
You were really good. I've got to hand it to you. Most lads don't make it past me. So listen, I want to tell you something.
What's that?
There are people here looking for really tough men, and I'd say you fit the bill. So when you walk through town this evening, if there's a light in the church, go in and wait a while. If they like the looks of you, they might give you some work.
Thanks. I'll think about it.
Look here, lads. I hope I won't be seeing you around here again. Go and find some other place for your games.
All right. We'll go. But if you want to fight again, you're always welcome. I bet you'll come off worse next time. May the Lord watch over you.
Hey! Is there something you need?
Anything else? Anything else?
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
They told me a different tale. Said you went there to fight of your own free will and lost a good deal of silver. Is that the way of it?
I did go there at first, but they cheated. And when I caught them cheating, they beat me. And now I have to hear that racket every day.
If you want, I'll take care.
Well, you look like...
Perhaps we'll be able...
Maybe.
Perhaps I can...
Well...
May the Lord watch over you.
I've taken care of the lads who were bothering you. You'll have a quiet evening tonight.
God bless you, lad. And here's something for your trouble and kindness. Unlike that miserable bailiff.
If anything else grieves you, just say the word.
May the Lord watch over you.
The Lord be praised. What?
I'd like to enroll in the big tournament.
All right. As long as you've got the enrollment stake. Sir Hanish's rule is every contestant has to put up 60 groschen.
Of course. Here you are.
I'll write your name down. Henry, you said. And I need to know what weapon you choose.
Longsword. I reckon it's what I'm best at.
Good. Get yourself ready. You're next in line. Good luck then. Entering the arena now will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla. And he will face Yera of Benashov, called Kipper, a mercenary by profession. Let us wish the combatants luck. The combatants have entered the arena and the first duel may commence. We will witness a duel with longswords. And the victor is Henry of Skalitz. Change weapons for the second bout. The combatants will engage in a duel with warhammers and shields. Here's declared the victor in this round and shall proceed to the next round. Entering the arena now will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla, who will measure his skills against Olbram, known as Sparrowhawk, archery master of Kalin. Welcome, our warriors. The combatants have entered the arena and the first duel may commence. We will witness a duel with longswords. The victor of the first duel is Henry of Skalitz. And now's the time to choose weapons for the next duel. Our warriors will fight with hunting swords. We have a victor in the second duel. He is Henry of Skalitz. Having proved his combat skills in this round and emerged victorious, he shall proceed to the next round of the Ratai Tourney. The first combatant will be Henry of Skalitz from the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla. And he will face Bowman Richard from the garrison of Sir Divish of Tamburg. Let us wish the combatants luck. All is prepared for the first duel. We will witness a duel with longswords. And the winner of the first bout is Henry of Skalitz. And now's the time to choose weapons for the next duel. The combatants will engage in a duel with warhammers and shields.
Fucker! Rush!
The victor of the second duel is Henry of Skalitz. Lords and ladies, good men and good wives, you have just witnessed the final duel in today's Ratai Tourney, for which we all owe gratitude to Sahanush of Laipa. All glory to the victor, Henry of Skalitz, man-at-arms in the company of Sir Radzig Kobyla. His prize will be given to him by our gracious Sahanush.
Huh?
You did it in the end, Henry. No doubt you're well satisfied. And I'm sure you'll be happy with this prize.
I certainly am, my lord. Thank you, sir.
Good luck, then.
gonna get any better, is it? I just think we should go. Doesn't matter where. Hey, how'd you get so fucked up?
How do you like it at the mill, Fritz? Gotta be better than the mines.
It's worse here than at Skalitz. There you could disappear without anyone noticing. But here...
But why would you want to disappear? Nimoy isn't here.
No, he's not. But the local foreman is an even bigger ass.
I'm not sure that's possible.
You better believe it. I'd like to pay him back for everything and drown him in the river.
What about the others at the mill? Are they awful as well?
The miller's an old fool. He believes every word that comes out of Thomas's mouth. It's hopeless. And then there's the miller's daughter. She's a pretty lass, and kind with it. And what can she do? Nothing. Not that it stops Matthew going to see her. But Thomas is the root of the problem.
Do you think he's jealous? Is she a sweetheart?
He might make puppy dog eyes at her, but most of the time he just struts about like a peacock. I really don't think she's the problem.
I spoke with him briefly and he doesn't seem so horrible.
Then you ought to try working with him. He's a sneaky bastard and arrogant. You should see how he puffs himself up when he's off to play dice with Lawrence.
Who's Lawrence? Another mill hand?
Aye, but at the neighbouring mill. They call him the Wren. Damned if I know why. Thomas goes there to play dice with him.
Drown him? What's he done to you?
It was the first or the second day here. We had a disagreement and I told him off. And then, all of a sudden, we're fighting and that fucker just throws me in the river. I nearly drowned.
Well, how did you get out? I thought you couldn't swim.
I can't. They pulled me out. I was up to my waist in water.
I see. Well, I'd be pretty fucking angry too. So you want to pay him back?
Exactly. I don't give a shit about anything around here, but that bastard's in need of a good trouncing.
And what do you want to do about it? Do you think you can come to an agreement?
No fucking chance. Matthew hopes so because he likes it here. It's true the work's better than the mines, but the pay's worse.
So how do you plan on dealing with it? Leaving?
Perhaps. But first, I want to give Thomas a proper trouncing. I mean a real thrashing.
And you think that will help?
Maybe. Maybe it'll knock some sense into that fat head of his. Or he'll be too frightened to mess with me.
That might help.
So why don't you arrange a fight with him? If we win, he'll leave us alone. Oh, we could...
What?
We could lure him off someplace far away and then wait for him. Maybe to play dice with Lawrence. He would have to go through the dark woods.
I'll think about it.
God be with you.
Jesus, what have you been up to?
I've heard you don't have it easy here.
So you spoke to Fritz then? I bet that wasn't quite how he put it.
No, not quite. Apart from Thomas's name, the rest was mostly swear words.
I can imagine. I've been hearing the same from him all week. The foreman here is a pain in the arse. He's trying either to wear us to the bone or force us to leave.
Always forcing you to work, is he?
If only. That wouldn't be so awful. But nothing we do is good enough for him. There's always some reason for him to yell at us.
I can imagine.
You know what it's like. We do too little, and it takes us too long, and what we eat's worth more than the work we've done, and it's no fun listening to that sort of shit day after day.
And the miller won't stick up for you? I would have thought all the yelling would drive him mad.
Not really. He trusts that loudmouth bastard more than us. He's got us down for a pair of parasites.
I see.
What's so stupid is the mill really needs us. They haven't had any hands here for quite a while, and the mill needs a lot of fixing. But with them around, we can't even get to work.
And you definitely don't... You don't ever provoke him?
I've already told you once. He's an arsehole. I'd say there's nothing we can do about it. If he wants to yell at us, he'll yell at us.
Have you tried talking with him?
What do you think? But that just sets him off. He starts saying we're practically bandits, and what he's going to do about it. That gets Fritz going, and he starts yelling too, and...
I'd never have guessed he's like that.
Well, get a job here as a hand, and you'll soon see.
And what does he do during the day? Does he work with you?
Good one. He keeps his eye on everything, but his hand only touches the saw when the miller shows up, which isn't that surprising.
Why?
The last time he did anything, he almost took his thumb off with a chisel. I wouldn't put an axe in those paws of his either.
So, he's clumsy and arrogant. That's what you said about your last master, that Nimoy.
Aye, but at least you could sneak away from old Nimoy for a bit. No chance of that around here.
And what do you want to do about it? Just run away?
Actually, I'd like to stay here, at least for a bit. I never would have thought I'd like working at a mill. But not with him around. It's unbearable. And there's no one I can complain to. But you could.
Me? Do you think they'll listen to me?
They did once already, didn't they? They hired us because of you. You could have another word with them.
Back then, making promises was enough. Now, it will be worse.
You can forget about the miller. It's Thomas you need to convince. The miller takes his opinion seriously. So, will you do it for us? Again?
Fine. I'll try and talk to him.
I'm glad. But try not to get on his wrong side. You won't get anywhere with him then.
I'll keep that in mind.
God be with you.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
So what do you think about the workers I brought you?
If I hadn't put in a good word for them, the miller would have thrown them out by now.
I heard them say something else.
So they're complaining, are they? I provide for them, and all they do is slack off.
Isn't it the miller who provides for them?
He can't manage the work anymore. If it weren't for me, there'd be nothing left standing around here.
Hail as usual.
But you need the help anyway. And they're pretty handy.
Maybe. But they're in no danger of overworking themselves. They act like they're too good for the mill. And I saw them eyeing up Jane.
Nothing strange about that. She's a pretty girl, and she's of an age to marry.
It's not marriage they've got on their minds. They'd have their way with her, then before her belly started to grow, they'd have run for the hills.
Look, we can reach an agreement. You need the mill fixed, they need the money. If they have peace to do their work, they'll be able to finish it faster.
But...
And then they'll take their groschen and leave. The mines will open again, and the faster they get their money, the quicker they'll be gone.
But do you really think I can trust them to do it? Will they do their work and leave? And leave Jane alone in the meantime?
Of course. They're not interested in the mill. They just need the coin to pay their debts. Once they've got enough, they'll have no reason to stay here.
I never thought we could sort it out this way.
I've known them for a long time, and you can rely on them when it comes to this. Everybody will be better off.
All right. If they keep their part of the bargain, I'll even give them a few extra groschen. But woe betide them if they don't. You can tell them that. Good luck to you.
Jesus, what have you been up to?
It took some doing, but I made a deal with him.
I'm glad to hear it. So we can stay here? He'll leave us be?
He'll leave you alone, but there are conditions. Once you finish your job, you'll vanish from here. But you'll get an extra groschen or two for your troubles.
And that's it? I thought... Never mind.
Oh, and you're to stop dallying with the miller's daughter. Keep on mucking about with her and you'll muck things up for yourselves.
The fucking bastard. He can go fuck himself. He'd better give us enough groschen to make it worth it. But I suppose I should thank you. You may have bought us some peace and quiet, and that's better than nothing. Here's something for your help. God be with you.
Hey, how'd you get... Good luck, then.
Hey, you! Halt! Don't move a finger! Surrender!
All right!
You're under arrest. I was told you were dragging a lifeless body around on your shoulder. Where the fuck do you think you are? If it was up to me, I'd send you straight to the chopping block. You're lucky the law will only let me throw you in jail.
You're making a serious mistake. If only you knew what you just got yourself into. This won't end well for you.
Well, I thought... That is, I had no idea. If that's how it is, of course you may go.
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in
Amen.
heaven. What?
So, you've been looking for us, eh? What is it you want?
I hear you're hiring men who don't mind getting their hands dirty.
Is that so? And where did you hear that?
Taverns and the like? People talk?
Well, that's a pretty tale. But no one in any tavern told you to come here and wait, did they? So let's have it. Who told you?
The bailiff's man told me about you. The one who runs the fight club in the quarry.
Did he now? Well, I hope you trounced him. Bastard took my money at dice.
If you want, I can give him a proper hiding, just to show you I'm serious.
Spare me the boasting. I've got a test ready for you. Let's see how you handle it before you tell us how wonderful you are.
What test?
Nothing complicated. We used to take anyone who looked like they could keep their head on straight. But not now. Now you can only join if you do what we tell you.
Which is what? Steal something?
Nah, not theft. If you want to join us, you have to kill Pius.
Who's Pius, and why should I kill him?
That's none of your business. But I'll tell you anyway, because it's an instructive tale. Pius was one of us, but he fucked up.
How? Did he steal something?
Yeah, that was part of it. Stole some money, ran away. A few boys died over it. Showed a distinct lack of loyalty. And as soon as he's dead, you can join us.
I'll have to find him first.
You don't need to find him. We know where he is.
Then why haven't you killed him yourselves?
It's quite a test. He's hiding in a monastery.
With the stable boys? It's not hard to get into the grounds.
No, not there. Oh, he would have been dead long since. He's in the, cloister, or whatever it is.
But only monks can get in there.
Just monks and Pius. He's an educated bastard. Seems he used to be a priest, but it didn't quite work out.
And how am I supposed to get into the cloister?
You'll think of something. Maybe there's a secret passage. I've heard there's some cave underneath. The cave of St. Procopius. There might be a way into it from outside.
And do you have any other ideas besides secret passages?
Well, there is this one fellow been hanging around the taverns. Supposed to join the monastery soon. Might be he could help you somehow. I'd try talking to him if I were you. And if he doesn't help, knock him on his ass and take anything he's got that you could use to pass yourself off as him. A letter of admittance to the monastery, or whatever.
Murder someone in a monastery? Have you gone mad?
Murder's a sin as it is. Doesn't really matter where you do it.
Yes, it does. I'd be spilling blood on hallowed ground.
Well then, knock him senseless, drag him outside, and finish him off where it's less sacred. I don't give a damn where you do it, just as long as he ends up dead.
And do you have any other test?
We're not hiring stable boys. We want men who are prepared to do anything. And this is the toughest task we've got.
So how many men have you already sent?
Just a handful.
And what happened to them? Did they hang?
Just the first one. The others turned tail. Guess they didn't have the stomach for it.
How will I recognize Pius?
He won't have been there long. He should be the only new one there.
But what if there are others? What does he look like?
Normal. He always went about well dressed and had a fine-looking dagger.
Yes, except he'll be given a robe and they'll take his knife.
Then you'll have to try and figure out which one of the novices it is, and get him to betray himself. Try getting him drunk. Then send him straight to hell.
Get him drunk? In a monastery?
We're better. There's more wine there than in the royal cellars. And I doubt he's suddenly stopped drinking.
Fine. So I've got to kill Pius. He's in the cloister, and to get into the cloister, I'll need to enlist the help of some boy who's joining the order, right?
More or less. And now the main thing.
The main thing is to kill him, isn't it?
Of course. But that's not all. All hell's gonna break loose in the monastery after the murder. So, either make sure nobody finds him, or hightail it out of there quick as soon as the job's done. But better if they don't find him right away.
And what else? Should I come back here afterwards?
No. Before you run for it, take his special dice and bring it as proof that you killed him. And if you can get him to tell you where he hid the coin, bring that as well.
Bring his dice and the money if I find it. And where should I bring it?
From the monastery, head east across the river. There'll be a swamp where you'll find a fire pit. Go there at night and light a fire. Make it nice and big and we'll show up. Take the dice and the money, and then tell you where to report. Got it?
Right, I'm to slip into the best guarded place in the entire region and kill someone. Take his dice and money, and then go to the swamp and wait by the fire.
Yeah, that's the idea.
Well, you can at least say a few Hail Marys for me. I'm gonna need all the help I can get.
And remember, we'll be keeping tabs. So don't you try to run off, alright? Good luck then.